Buenas noches. Buenas noches. Bienvenidos. Buenas noches. Vamos a comenzar nuestro programa. We're going to begin our program. But before we bring our the many family, friends, colleagues up before tonight, want to welcome first and introduce Carlos Tortorello. He is the president and CEO of the National Museum of Mexican Art, this beautiful museum, to say a couple of words. Carlos?
Thank you. Wow, this is a great, great, great night. And we are very honored to host this event here tonight. The museum hosts over 100 events a year, and I can honestly tell you, none is more enjoyable and more meaningful than this event tonight. One of the things I've always admired about Greg is that he understands so well that the word, community, is not spelled with a lowercase c, but with a gigantic uppercase C. He has been a leader, an activist. He's been a lot of things, but more importantly, he has been an outstanding human being. Years from now, his work will continue through all the hundreds and hundreds of people he has touched. When I see all the problems that our city, country, and planet are facing, it's very scary. We definitely need more people like Greg. Congratulations, Greg, and take care.
Thank you, Carlos. My name is Ann Smith, and I'm a former president of the Gamaliel Foundation. And it gives me a great deal of pleasure to welcome our family. There are many people here from all across the country. There are many people from the Pilsen neighborhood where Greg began his career as an organizer here in Chicago. This evening, we intend to do something that organizers know very well they're not supposed to do. In your program, you'll see that tonight it says, tonight it's all about Greg. And as you know, in organizers, in the history of organizing, the organizers are never seen when there is a public program. It's their responsibility to make sure that things happen. But tonight, we intend to celebrate Greg's 41 years of organizing in 17 states in Great Britain, in Africa, in South Africa. And you'll see on the screen all of the organizations that have been started by Gamaliel over the years. And then you'll see quite a few interesting photos of Greg as well. He didn't always look the way he looks now. He was, as Mary would say, he was much taller, he had dark hair, and as Mary would say, he was even cuter than he is now. So, the program, you have a program, and we're going to go through this swiftly. We recognize that there are people who are standing, and we expect some of you men to be gentlemen and ask some of the ladies if they could have a seat. Did I hear some groaning there? But anyway, after the program, we'll still have a lot of food. There'll still be mariachi music. We want to make sure that all of you have your photograph taken in the front at the red carpet. We want to make sure you stop at the table where there's the balloons and write a great big autograph or a statement to Greg about how pleased we are to have known him all of these 41 years, and particularly the 26 years that Greg has been working for the Gamaliel Foundation. It's my pleasure now to bring Bob Klonowski, who is the chairman of the Gamaliel Board.
Thank you, Ann. I'm Bob Klonowski. I'm the proud pastor of Faith Lutheran Church. Been a leader in one Gamaliel organization or another over the years, and as Ann noted, I serve currently as the chair of the board of directors of Gamaliel. I'm here to speak today about Greg the founder. My first meeting with Greg Galluzzo, and I bet every single one of you has got a story about that. This is mid-1980s. There were two things that I noticed about the guy, my first impressions. Are you ready? One was this was a man with something of a pissy attitude. And the other is that this was a guy who, as soon as it became clear to him that I was not necessarily going to do what Greg Galluzzo wanted me to do, he had no use for me. As I came to work with Greg over the years, I discovered, I proudly claim today, that I was right on both counts. Certainly I was right about the attitude, but also, listen to me now, I was right about the no-use impression. Because you see, Greg Galluzzo did not have use for me. He was not interested in using me, but he was tremendously interested, deeply interested in investing in me. There's a very important difference there. You hear that? So working that way, Gregory, you founded an organization. You are our founder at Gamaliel, clear about your vision of a society for all, clear about the place of faith in the lives of God's people, and maybe most of all clear about what this is really all about, is about investing in one another, investing one at a time, and investing in a wider democratic society in which we have thrown our lot in with one another. Gregory, you have built people around you. The best evidence of that is there ain't nobody here tonight who's wondering, what are we going to do now that our founding director has moved on? Greg, we know exactly what we're going to do. We're going to keep on doing justice, loving kindness, and walking humbly with our God. You're our founder, Greg. I expect that there's going to be more compliments coming your way tonight, but I'm suggesting there's not going to be any higher one than that. This really ain't all about Greg Galluzzo. You'd be insulted if it was. This is all about the people and the organization that you've built. Thank you, our founder.
Thanks, Bob. Thank you, Bob. Again, Juan Soto with the Gamaliel Foundation. Although I'm glad to know that today we are paying tribute to Greg. The next person that we're inviting up to the microphone is John Norton. But I have to let him know that this is a family event, John. And it's recorded. So let's welcome John Norton.
Well, let's face it, though, the Lutheran pastor just set the bar in terms of language, at a level that I'm certainly not going to exceed. But I also want to say that he set a tone of seriousness and respect that I'm going to try to change in the next few minutes. I was assigned the responsibility of addressing you all about Greg the organizer. And I'm planning to do that, but I think you'll all agree with me that Greg is a complicated character. And only talking about him as an organizer won't quite fill in all the picture. Now, other people will be addressing other aspects of Greg's character. I'm going to wander into some of that territory myself, but I feel pretty confident that they're not going to cover the same ground. All right, so, for example, we all know about Greg's Catholic education and the influence that the Jesuits had on him. Few people know about the grade school faculty that influenced him early on. Nuns on the bus are nothing compared to nuns with guns. I'll tell you that right now, okay? They placed in him a deep and abiding faith. that in my very first automobile ride with him, I discovered was faith in action. In that car, in that automobile were also a couple of bumper stickers that I think reveal a lot about the man. Had a lot to do with what he taught me about organizing. How to, for example, channel my anger, all right? As well as that, he taught me you had to do something with your anger. Now, Soto, I haven't said anything yet, have I? Okay, all right, okay. They're not filming the people. Okay, all right. So, wait, I'm sorry. Wait. Got ahead of myself. One of the things Greg taught me was an Alinsky saying. It was that, he said, all of us is a pile of undigested experience. Greg, however, taught me that no matter what your political stripe, there's a way to work that out. All right? And that organizers, in fact, are the moral fiber that help. However, there are people that have certain blockages that require certain extra attention, all right? Greg also taught me a lot about relationships, starting with who your friends really are. Now, that's a best friend, okay? Another set of relationships that Greg taught me a lot about is my relationships with women. Now, and I've been married 3 times. So, some people would call Greg a sexist. I'm not sure. Greg once sent this to me that helped explain, from his perspective anyway, what he thought the differences were between the genders. Greg, you can talk about that later. Actually, this is Greg with a group of women in a training for Enthesaki in California just last winter. I think that the level of attention that they're paying to him shows something else about how he interacts with women leaders. However, a close-up I wasn't there, so I'm not sure what's going on, but I think we can guess. The woman in the back to the right, well, never mind. Okay. Women react to Greg in a lot of strange ways. Wait, I'm sorry. I don't know how that got in there, Greg. I'm sorry. Greg also taught me a lot about family. All right, for example, how to discipline your children. Since I have 2 daughters, he was also extremely helpful in helping me think about how I was going to rear them. All right. So, then it comes to the matters of organizing. The first thing Greg told me was that you're going to have to get used to some pretty ugly situations. Sometimes you're going to have to get your hands dirty. Sometimes you're going to have to go pretty far in that process. Sometimes you have to stick your nose in other people's business. Leadership is a complicated thing, all right? And organizing is a complicated thing. Part of our job is to disentangle things like this, all right? So, let me just close with this. This actually is a terrific symbol, I think, for organizing. I'm going to shift to be somewhat serious here for just a moment. With all this good-natured fun, I also want to make a couple of comments about my relationship with you. In the years that I've known you and the years that I've worked in this network, as an organizer, as a Christian, and as a family man, I have learned a lot from you about power and faith and love. And I want to tell you I will never forget it. I will always respect you. And I love you very much myself. So, you're welcome.
Thank you, John. You can see that Greg and John have known each other for years, and John has been corrupted. So the next speaker is Erin Reisner, who is the organizer of Justice Overcoming Boundaries in San Diego. She's one of Greg's new mentees, and so we should see someone who is quite serious and who understands that she has taken Greg's lessons well, and that she's not been corrupted yet.
Hi, my name is Erin Suramoto Reisner, and like they said, I'm from Justice Overcoming Boundaries in San Diego. And when I was first approached about doing this piece, I really hesitated for a moment because I don't really like Greg. And so, I was thinking about this, and the reason I don't like Greg is because I used to referee soccer when I was young, and I was the only young woman on the field in a good old boys club. And so Greg reminded me of those jerks who kept trying to tell me that I was doing everything wrong and that I had no right to be there. But as I was preparing for this piece, I started to reflect a little bit. And I realized that along with those memories, Greg was also starting to pull out something that I thought had died when I stopped refereeing. He was pulling out the persona that I used when I refereed. He was pulling out a persona that was fierce, that was fearless, that was smarter, better, quicker than anybody else out there. And so about 3 p.m. on Monday, this Monday, I realized that, you know what? Maybe Greg's not such a bad guy. Because when I thought about it, the guys I used to referee with, they were just jerks. They didn't know they were doing that. But Greg, on the other hand, was intentionally pulling that person out, as he's done with each and every one of us in this room. And so as I move forward with organizing, that persona is going to be there every battle I go into. And so I'd just like everybody who's been mentored by Greg to raise your hand. Look around. That's the face of Greg's legacy. And I'm the face of the new generation. Thank you.
Thank you. So, a lot of hands went up. And as you know, in Greg's life, he himself is actually part of a family. And to some of us, he is more than just a mentor, he's family. And tonight, I want to invite Frank Galluzzo, his brother, to share some words. Frank?
Thank you. Thank you. I thought I was going to be funny, but jeez, you got some champions here. I'm the oldest, and Greg was the smartest, charming, lovely personality. Everybody loved him. I, on the other hand, could not keep my mouth shut. I was grounded all the time. And I'll give you a little example. Even though I don't remember what happened last week, I remember 50 years ago or 60 years ago even exactly what happened. One of the examples was in Oregon, we got the Oregon Journal. And Greg was on the couch reading the comic strips. And my mother said, Gregory, dump the garbage. Sure, Mom, no problem. About 5 minutes later, Greg, dump the garbage. Okay, Mom, okay. 5 minutes later, same thing. Greg, you can dump the garbage? Just a minute, I'll be right there. 10 minutes later, Frank, dump the garbage. What? You ask him to dump the why am I dumping the garbage? It's a 5-minute deal. Don't be a smart aleck, you're grounded. But you told him you're grounded now for 2 days. That's the way my whole life was like Greg. Greg is this, Greg is that. And another example is I was a big shot football player, and this other friend of mine, Don Schnell, Greg knew well. His mother and my mother had all these relatives from Eastern Oregon, from Southern California. Would you take out this girl? She's really a nice family. Okay, geez, all these bow wows we had to take out every time. So one time, Don's mother said, really nice family, this girl's from the raisin country in California, and would you take her out? And I said, absolutely not. I'm sick of this. Don says, me neither. I'm not taking her out. Greg says, okay, I'll take her out. Well, guess what? Runner-up, Miss California, gorgeous, and she loves Greg. Now, the rest of us want to take her out. After that, no, she's going with Greg. That's the way my whole life was, behind him all the time. We were both the same size. I'm only 15 months older. We worked in the meat business with my father. Competition all the time. We had competition with card games, pinochle, everything. I had a 52 Ford. He had a 53 Ford. We come home for lunch. Okay, who's going to be first? Always has to be first. Always a challenge. Always. So I'm on Division Street. I got both lanes blocked. No way can he pass me. He goes up on the curve, just misses the telephone pole, through the red light, up on the other curb, and beats me home. But this is the way it was all of our whole life. It was lovely, just like that. And we loved each other, and we were best friends for a long, long time, and still are good friends. And I had to tell about that part, and then he got lucky and has a beautiful family, a gorgeous wife who loves him, and all of his children love him and respect him, as I do too, and my wife and my whole family does. We love you always, Greg.
Thank you, Frank. And now we have someone who knows Greg really well. Mary Gonzalez, his wife of...
Thank you very much. Today, we're celebrating not only Greg's retirement, but Greg's life's work. Most of you are aware of his many accomplishments in the public world. But I want to tell you that he's also an incredible partner, spouse, father, and grandfather. 5 years ago, we celebrated his 65th birthday. Part of that celebration was to see Wicked, a Broadway play, right here in Chicago. Near the end of that play, Elphaba, the main character in Wicked, vows to do everything in her power. Greg, that's how you've spent your life. Challenging all of us to fight the injustices of the wizard and always defying gravity.
Hope you're happy. I hope you're happy now. I hope you're happy how you hurt your cause forever. I hope you think you're clever.
I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy too. I hope you're proud how you would grovel in submission to feed your own ambition.
So though I can't imagine how, I hope you're happy right now.
You can still be with the wizard, what you've worked and waited for. You can have all you ever wanted.
I can't want it anymore. In me, something is not the same. I'm through with playing by the rules of someone else's game. Too late for second guessing. Too late to go back to sleep. It's time to trust my instincts. Close my eyes and leave. It's time to try defying gravity. Defying gravity.
Why can't I make you understand? You're having delusions of grandeur.
I'm through accepting limits, 'cause someone says they're so. Some things I cannot change.
But till I try, I'll never know.
Too long I've been afraid of losing love I guess I've lost.
Well, if that's love, it comes at much too high a cost.
I do not try defying gravity. Kiss me goodbye, I'm defying gravity. You can't pull me down.
Together we're unlimited. Together we've been the greatest team there's ever been.
Dreams the way we planned them.
If we work in tandem, there's no fight we cannot win. Just you and I defying gravity. With you and I defying gravity. They'll never bring us down. I hope you're happy now that you're choosing this.
Me too. I hope it brings you bliss.
I really hope you get it and you don't live to regret it. I hope you're happy in the end. I hope you're happy, my friend. Yeah, boy. Watch out. So if you can't find me, look to the western sky. Lately, every deserves a chance to fly.
And if I'm flying solo, at least I'm flying free.
To those who surround me, take the message back from me.
I'm flying high, defying gravity. That's coming me now.
And nobody in all of us, no wizard that there is or was,
Is ever gonna bring me down. More happy. They will never bring us. No. They will never bring us. They will never bring us down.
about another applause for that? Wasn't that amazing? That's talent. So, Greg, that was one gift. Another gift comes from us as well. But for that, we bring somebody that you have inspired through your work. And he's actually a renowned artist, known not only here in Chicago, but around the world, all over the world. Alejandro Romero.
Well, I deeply honored that I was chosen by Gamaliel to create this image, to pay tribute to Greg. I feel humble because the big production just came out, and I should have bring a mural, not a little painting. But I'm happy that I could create this image for you, and I hope you like it. And thank you, Gamaliel, for allowing me to create this painting.
We didn't decorate it properly. I would like to tell you that at the end of the program this evening, each one of you will receive a small postcard of the image that Alejandro has created for Greg. And now it's that person who's been the center of our attention, not just this evening, but for the last 41 years, because he was always in our face. So here's an opportunity for us to have Greg come and talk to us one more time.
I have been stunned by some of you came from California, from New Hampshire, from all over, and I was stunned with what the production here, the painting, and the other remarks. At least most of them, John. I think the really most important thing I have to say is thank you. Each one of you have been someone who gave me energy and joy and life. So without you, I'd just be some lonely guy. So I think, first of all, as you all know, Mary's my full partner in everything, and so she deserves whatever credit has been attributed to me. Mary. I came from a great family that my brother Frank represented. He was kind of a spoiled brat himself. Don't let him try to pull all that over on you. He was the oldest son. You know about oldest sons and mothers and all that. We won't go into that psychological analysis, but he was favored himself. Also, the family that I was invited into completely by my wife, quite a few of her brothers, and my nephews are here today, and I'm honored. My 4 daughters, who I often say, blessed am I among women, and my granddaughters and my grandsons, weren't they great up here? I am just overwhelmed with the gifts that I have received. When I think about it all, I really remember more each person gave me something. And then whatever I am today is an accumulation of all the gifts that have been given to me in one way or another, all the way from John Norton, actually Teresa Fraga. Where's Teresa Fraga? Right there. She started the journey with us 40 years ago. as we fought to make Pilsen a really great place to live, and it's been a great place. All the way to Erin, who did she conclude by saying she did like me? I didn't get that part. So enough of that. Okay, it's been overwhelming and just wonderful. Every one of your faces have wonderful stories and wonderful memories associated with them. So I just like to do what I'm supposed to do, which is, there's a lot of crap out there in the world, right? I mean, I read the newspaper, I want to pound my head against the wall. I'm just so angry at the unfairness against people, poor people, people of color, although that's changing because people of color are saying enough already, right? We're gonna make sure that that is set straight. With people with disabilities, with women, there's so many injustices that still are eating away at the human fabric. And I am not going away. I think they planned this party to make sure I was leaving. I think that was a whole thing. So I'm really not going to go away. I hate to disappoint you. I'm going to be around, and I know that you are going to continue this struggle against doesn't it just make you so angry about the racism that's still in the world, about war against immigrants, about how women are still disrespected, about how people with disabilities still have to fight for their rightful place in the world, about how women are treated sometimes often like second-class citizens. Enough already, right? Let's all get together and start a revolution. Let's begin to change, and I will represent with Mary the gray-haired ones, and my wonderful granddaughter Samantha. Samantha, would you stand? This is my granddaughter, and my grandson, Stan Thomas. Well, I'm talking about the ones who performed. The other one's my grandson too. Anyway, these are the young people that are going to have to continue the struggle. Thank you. And I'd also like to thank Anna Garcia Ashley, who represents, to me, what my life work is about. I've been fighting against, I was in the civil rights movement in 1964. And the fact that Gamaliel is now led by Anna Garcia Ashley makes me feel like my life work at least has a glimmer of success. There's many more things that have to be done. But I want to thank you for taking the burden. People have asked me how I'm feeling, and I tell them I'm feeling great, because any problems that come along, that's Anna's problem. You should go see her. And it's been wonderful work with you the last couple of years. So once again, thank you all. You've all been a gift to me. Continue to be a gift to one another. Support each other, as the song said, and we will defy gravity.
All right. Get him closer to the painting. So, Greg's legacy will continue, and it's going to continue in each and every one of us, as he has touched so many. For the next phase, as we move on, and Greg, you have said your work is about the continuation of people's struggles, and it is now the time to pass on the baton, as you have, because you are a great mentor to many. Now I want to invite Anna Garcia Ashley, our executive director.
Buenas noches. Buenas noches. I was sharing with some people earlier that I was introducing myself. I'm Anna Garcia Ashley, and I am the new Greg. And they said, well, we like your dress better. So that was encouraging. I have to say that I just shared with the organizers last night when we were in the Senate Court, the organizer retreat, that for the last 22 years now, Greg and I have been in hand-to-hand combat. This has been a hand-to-hand combat. And and it's very important for those of you who have gone to week-long training, you know that Greg is all about what? Organize and organize And it's about planning 3, 4, 5 generations ahead of this work. So I think we want to honor you, Greg, moving forward and continue your work by making sure that we can bring home the gold. And that is the Galluzzo Organizer and Leader Development Fund. So I would like the young organizers, all the organizers being 1 or 2 years. Of course, we have a lot of organizers in the room. They only been around 3 weeks. So I would like you to invite you to come to the front of the room, please. Yes, you, Johnny, Aida, Brittany, all of our organizers that are young organizers. And then I would like all of you to pull out your gold pledge commitment cards. Everybody has the gold pledge commitment cards? So where's my floor team? We do believe that Gamaliel, because of the gold work that Greg have done with all of us, I would not be up here if he has not been investing in me for the last 20 years. I would not be up here. And all of these organizers, this is the future of organizing for the Gamaliel Network. This is the future. So what we are asking is for this Galluzzo Organizer and Leaders Development Fund is for those of you who really believe that in this country, transformation is worth investing in. Our young organizers are worth investing in. We want to make sure, and you probably are looking at the next Mary Gonzalez trainer, a Greg Galluzzo training up here. So we want you to invest in that. And that is what this pledge card is about and this fund is about. It is our goal to raise with the gold fund $100,000 so that no longer an organizer that wants a fellowship, who wants to do an internship, who wants to come and organize can be turned away. So that there will be fun to make sure that we are investing in our organizers just like Galluzzo invested in us for the last 25 years that Gamaliel, he was running Gamaliel. So I just want to make sure this is about Gamaliel, and this is what we are asking, and this is what we are investing in. And as the organizer and the presidents, where are all my presidents of the affiliates, and all of our leaders, and our board of directors, and our pastors, and all of you who are here and believe in this work, and you want to make sure that Gamaliel is strong and continue to be for the next generation, that this is our goal for all the president, is that we are committed across our network in the 16 states, in the 60 organizations, we are committed to raising $10 million to continue our organization. $10 million. Currently, organizers, how many millions do we raise currently?
6.5.
How many million do we raise currently?
6.5 million.
So, Greg, you like what we're doing? Are you leaving the organization in good hands? We are all in this together. So I'd like to thank you for being here. I'd like to thank you for investing. And I have to say that, you know, this is a tough act to follow. But I'm a Dominican. From, not just a Dominican, but from the Bronx. So I definitely want... So I want to thank all my mentors. Came from California, Don Elmer, all of the Wisconsin people, New Hampshire. We have every single state in this room saying presente. This is important, and we believe in this work, and we believe in Gamaliel, and we are all in this together. Thank you for your investment in this work. Thank you. Okay. Ann said that you have to fill it out, and on one side you can pledge now. On the other side, you can make a pledge that we will follow up on. Thank you, Ann. Yes. You have a beautiful floor team. There's Marilyn Lampe. Raise your hand, part of the floor team. Is that right? Okay. Okay. So we're getting ready for the music. So you have, and there's a lot of food, there's a lot of drinks, and there's a lot of fellowship. And musicians are getting ready to sing. And I want to see Mary and Greg to start the dancing. Mary?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, we have one more thing. Um, the program is just, we have one more thing, and then we would like people to eat the food, drink the drinks, take a picture, sign the autograph book. But we are a faith-based organization, and so I invite Reverend Bigsby, who is the president of the Gamaliel President's Council, to come, please.
Greg, as I pondered last evening over many a forgotten lore, I came across something that I want to share with you and then offer prayer. Let these be words that will encourage you. It's worth remembering that the stars are still shining, even when the clouds hide them. Remember, too, that behind the dark patches of life, the eternal love of your Heavenly Father is still shining brightly. If you have cultivated trust in Him, your faith will carry you through the darkest moments of life. The life that Jesus promised us, if we remain in Him, is such a challenge that people hesitate to accept and instead choose to remain in religious ruts that promotes nothing but despair. The life that Christ promised is much more than an emotional experience. It creates inner peace, a constructive purpose in life, and provides the strength to achieve and maintain such a life through the power of the Holy Spirit. I invite all of you, as you're seated, just to raise your hands toward Greg now and bow your heads. Greg, silver and gold we do not have to give to you, but such as we have, we give, and that is a blessing. O God of grace and mercy, we beseech you to bless Greg in his going in and his coming out, blessing in his rising and as he goes to sleep. Station angels round about him to guard him and protect him, but most of all, give him strength to continue the great work that he's already begun, that he might be able to stimulate, motivate, and be able to draw others into this great work, to open doors that they could not have possibly opened, to prick their consciousness. Oh God, go with him, and not only with him, with Mary and the entire family. Let them be as Abraham was, and that is everywhere they go. He's a blessing, and not only is he a blessing, but he's also blessed. Go with him, stand by him, keep him in the hollow of your hand, protect him from harm, hurt, and danger. We ask this in the name of the Creator. Amen. Amen. Amen.
Well, thank you very much for attending this special event. Please, there is still quite a bit of food and drink and cake. And also, make sure you have an opportunity to take a picture with Greg and Mary. Thank you. Enjoy the evening.